Unimog, this particular one is a UL 1700L, ex-Australian Army. So winch on the front. So the great advantage with the Unimog is it's got a thing called a portal axle. So you can see on that side, so the axle the wheel center doesn't come out at the diff center. There's a step down, so it gives great ground clearance. And so we have coil sprung, four-wheel drive, the drive shafts are even encased in a tube to help protect them as well. You can see the bellows and drive shaft. Might go for a little drive. So, poor thing sits for a little while. Because it's a military vehicle, they have these to block out the light, so there's no light reflecting on the driver, and little telltales so they could see if there's a problem with the motor. Kilometries and imperial, hogsheads, feet, chains, all that other sort of old way to measure stuff. They have blackout lights. Okay, so if they're in a convoy, they can nearly essentially turn the lights off. There's a little spot on the back that the driver would follow. Got a gun turret, so we can stand up there, pretend we're Arnold Schwarzenegger. You know, 50 caliber machine gun, or not real up with my gun, sorry. So now the way they do the gearbox is the gearbox is essentially has 8 gears, both forward and reverse. The bottom section of the gearbox you use primary for off-road, so, or if you have a very heavy load on the road. And then, so in general on the road I start in 5th and go just these top 4. As I mentioned, that you've got forward and reverse in every gear, so this actual gear lever here does your forward and reverse. It's quite hard to get out of the habit of going for the gear stick to find reverse, where you can just essentially rock it backwards from forward to reverse. So if you're stuck, you can just sort of walk it backwards, forward, reverse. We have has been a while since I've driven it. So Winch Pto. So the winch is driven directly off the motor or the gearbox. So the motor needs to be going for the winch to be operational. And then I think this is the trailer brakes, and this is just the handbrake or the park brake. We've got rear wheel drive. That position is the center diff locked, and then we've got front and rear and center diff lock. The wheels still will slip even if it's engaged in all the diff locks. I'm not sure if there's a clutch in the actual diffs that reduce the amount of drive so you don't break anything, or it's just that the wheels will slip if they're fully engaged. I might just set up the other camera and then we'll start her up, see how we go. See ya. WO lines here just to see. Not very good with the gearbox today. We're back in the fifth to take off with. So we've got about a 5 litre, I think, maybe 5.4. Turbocharged 6-cylinder. Our own patrol boys. Got to cross those WO lines here just to see. Not very good with the gearbox today. We're back in the fifth to take off there. About a 5 litre, I think, maybe 5.4. Turbocharged 6-cylinder. Our own patrol boys. Here, crossing the road. Unfortunately, this whole region is essentially all locked up in a national park, so there's nowhere that I can drive very close. It's off-road. A little bit. So just go on there. shift.